if I have to. Okay, so this presentation is just about my little hobby, my home lab. First, I'll show you what I'm doing with it, which is pretty basic. People have called it straight out of a podcast, how basic it is. Then I'll talk about its history and what I learned over the years that I played with it. Things like hardware, software, software choices, user management and maintenance, and my own life changes along with that. Okay, so first up, what can you do with it? What can you do with it, right? You can store photos of cats. This is Immich. It's an open source photos manager with mobile apps for iOS and Android. It's got a lot of features, but I mainly use it to sync photos to my NAS from client devices. The cross-platform is very important to keep husband and other stakeholders happy. I basically didn't want to pay Apple $15 a month for upgraded storage, and I like taking photos of cats. I have nearly 10,000 photos of cats and counting. It's basically a bunch of microservices in a trench code, the way it's architected. The API worker, which responds to API requests for data files for web and mobile apps, and the microservices worker, which handles background jobs like thumbnail generation and video encoding. And you have to set up Postgres to store metadata and configurations, and Valky, which used to be Redis one upgrade ago, as a job queue, and Immich machine learning as a separate container so that you can classify photos with your cat. Yeah, this one's a bit complicated, but the next few won't be so bad. Jellyfin. Jellyfin is your own Netflix lah. This is actually not my Netflix. This is Linus Tech Tips' Netflix. Okay, it's accessible on mobile clients, your browser, watch whatever you want whenever. It's great if you have a lot of DVDs, but you can't play the DVDs on your phone, right? Okay, so unlike Immich, Jellyfin runs everything in a single container because it's a monolithic application, so it's actually much easier to deploy. All features are bundled together. The Docker image is built as a unified, it's a single Docker file. So if someone asks you monoliths or microservices, you can go, why not both? Okay, so then this is actually my favorite thing. Sorry, you can't really see it, huh? But my lab is very basic, okay? You can turn on the aircon from your phone. This is Home Assistant. It's an open source home automation platform. It centralizes control of smart devices. If you find it easier to see the slides, you can go to the URL, then you can see the slides on your phone, okay? But it will spoil one of the reveals for you. So back to Home Assistant, it centralizes control of smart devices, right? It means your lights, your thermostats, your cameras, your locks, whatever. You don't have to rely on the vendor apps or other cloud services. Personally, I use a Zigbee receiver to connect temperature sensors and IR blaster, and that means I can automate turning on the aircon whenever it gets too hot. And I've also integrated my TV as well as my cat poop machine on it. You could also put your robot cleaner on it. Yeah, so you can always, make the house appear like it has ghosts lah. But it's okay, I can always turn off the TV when I need to win an argument. Yeah, okay, so then this is AdGuard Home, that's next, right? It's my personal ad blocker, which I can customize and use across all my devices. I set it up as a network-wide, well, network is got big asterisk, okay? Network-wide DNS resolver using privacy-focused upstream services like Malvet and Quad9. What it does is whenever you load a website on your phone or whatever, like DNS queries, you have to make them, right? It intercepts these queries before they can fetch ads, and it just returns nothing. So you don't see anything. That means that when I'm reading manga at 2 AM or whatever, AdGuard Home can nuke every tracking pixel and ad domain that you have told it to nuke before it even gets to the browser, so you don't see ads. You can, although I'm not actually doing it, customize how heavy-handed you want the nuking to be. So other users, like my husband, bless him, can see ads because that's what they're into. This is made really easy to use by Tailscale, which is a mesh VPN, and it's Kubernetes operator, which I'll talk a bit more about later. Basically, you can't really put this on your phone reliably unless you use Tailscale. That I found I would be very happy to be taught, more. Yeah, okay. This one will make me sound really deranged. Have you ever wanted to emulate the legendary Facebook guy and code while you're on the toilet? Remember, this was in the book, right? Well, this is one way. Not saying I have, anyway. I set it up on a Kubernetes pod running upstream VS Code. It's accessible through a browser on any of my Tailnet devices. This is actually more useful on an iPad. But I took the screenshot of my phone because I can, right? So it has my DevTools installed because it's all in my manifest and everything. So if I'm just, on my iPad, and I feel like doing something which is actually never lah, so this is just for show, right? So I have full IDE capabilities, and I can do compiling, building, testing, whatever, it happens on the server when I run a command there lah. So going back to this, like this is actually relevant in corporate work streams. Like I know people who literally have this at work, where they run playbooks to spin these up for developers as needed with whatever dependencies required, which is quite cool, but I hate it. Like I still prefer to use my laptop than a mobile OS. So I'm almost never using this. It's very underutilized. Cool, right? Yeah, okay. Then finally, oh no, not finally, the second finally. This is Forgejo. I don't think you can really see it. But basically, this is your own GitForge. It's like GitHub, GitLab, but you can self-host it on a toaster if you want to, because it's very lightweight. It's got issues, pull requests, wikis, Kanban boards, package registry, CI integration. Because it's lightweight and not like take up 10 gigs of RAM plus like GitLab, when you host it, it's much more manageable to self-host lah. Yeah, it's kind of new. It's a fork of Git, but it's open source, so probably I don't have to redeploy it if they close source it. Yeah, like the thing that happened with Bitnami charts recently, everybody had to like scramble. So the Helm chart for this made installation pretty easy, and I haven't had to maintain it much, unlike Immich. Yeah. So then, what you're seeing is, I mean, the effect is, you see there's a spike there, and watch the CPU temporarily frantic. What you're seeing is Grafana and Prometheus, which is one of my favorite parts of Kubernetes, easy observability, which is needed once you run a lot of stuff. And I don't actually have a lot of stuff, it's just like 70 plus services. It comes as a Kube Prometheus stack Helm chart, which is a pre-packaged monitoring stack, like the chart lah. Okay, that has Prometheus, Alert Manager, Grafana, various exporters. So you can deploy the full stack with a single Helm chart command. No need to think so much. Best thing ever. Yeah. Prometheus is an open source systems monitoring and alerting toolkit. So basically it collects and stores metrics like CPU, temperature as time series data. And it works on a pool-based model to get the metrics. So basically it just keeps polling lah. And it's polling from different sources like my cluster, as well as, because I'm running a virtualization layer, Proxmox, I put sensors onto Proxmox and expose it to Prometheus so I can see my CPU fry. Because virtualization side cannot do it. Although if you're running bare metal, you can natively see it lah. Yeah, I'll talk about virtualization later. Yeah, so anyway, Grafana talks to Prometheus for the queries provider and creates charts on top of it. This is not a default chart, but the default charts are actually pretty good already. Like, I just found this particular one and I've been using it for a while because you can literally see like everything. So you don't actually need to do the hard work of making your own charts. No, just look for it and it will be done. This chart is, I think, like 13 years old actually. It's, or like, no, not 13 years old, some embarrassing number, very old chart. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this presentation is also self-hosted. It's basically, that's the URL, but sorry, it's a bit hard to see. Yeah, so it's just a simple file, HTML file. Then I put it on a Kubernetes pod and I exposed it to the Cloudflare tunnel. So you can look at the slides if you want. You can see my deranged speaker notes if you want. Yep, so how, right? I should just make every slide look like this. I can actually try deploying this later if you feel deranged enough. I can do it. It's just whether Cloudflare will cache it or not. As in you will hit the caching or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter, like going back to this, how you might be wondering, where do you get started, right? Like how do you get this deranged? Sorry, that's just me, but like HOMELABS wise, you don't actually have to do this lah. Like this is a full-size rack. It's a big cutoff. Yeah, so this guy bought a rack. Oh, but you can't actually see it on the display, but you can see it. Oh, you can see it. No, there's supposed to be a small form factor PC like underneath. So his PC is literally like the size of your phone, like a little bit bigger. Yeah, but sorry, technical challenges. I'm actually not very good at like GUI stuff, which is why I do this. Yeah, okay, so you have to take my word for it, but there's this repo and you can look at the guy's code and stuff. He runs a Discord server as well. Like Discord is a very good place to learn about all this stuff. Yeah. So you don't this guy got a rack essentially as a shelf lah. Like the top part is a rack legit, but the bottom part is a shelf. Okay, you can look at the thing if you want. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really wife approved. Mine is husband approved. My husband thinks I'm nuts, but it's okay. It's okay. yeah, anyway, he got my computer for free when I moved on from it. So the first generation was when I started to use Linux. Basically, the HOMELAB has been years and years of tinkering. It wasn't like that from day one. Like I had to build up the knowledge slowly over time. I started to learn Linux because I needed to use CUDA. Still got trauma today. So moving on to Kubernetes, okay? We'll talk about it. I started really small, so I could only afford Raspberry Pis because no money, right? I mean, now I still got not enough money, but better at, you know, saving than spending it. So my box is a bit more expensive. So anyway, at the time, which was a very long time ago, Raspberry Pis had a good community around them, a pretty good value at the time. There's this guy called Jeff Gehling who's still active. He made it really accessible to try them, but they didn't really do what I needed them to do. My main use case was media serving, which needs more power than Raspberry Pi lah. Yeah, and Kubernetes, like Tailscale didn't exist then, so it was kind of a pain to do the networking. Yeah, with Kubernetes. So yeah, it didn't really go anywhere besides like, oh, I set it up, cool, what can I do with it? Yeah. Anyway, power, heat, and noise matter more than you think. Basically, I found that in Gen 3, like I could get more done. A single laptop, in this case, or mini PC, is more power efficient than a cluster of Raspberry Pis. And then after you add on all the accessories for a Raspberry Pi, like the camera is very cool, right? But it costs more than a mini PC, so you should have just bought a mini PC in the first place. So yeah, TLDR, I converted to Gen 3. I converted an old laptop to a media server. But then I ran out of like storage, which is very common, I think. Yeah, so because of house limitations, my lab is a closet and a bedroom. So I prioritize an efficient footprint and low noise and low heat. And I can tell you that it's never woken me up like in the time I've been running it. Yeah. So what about adding things to the cluster right now? I'm actually running a few clusters. The main one is the one I'll be talking about. Yeah, but I can repurpose stuff and add more nodes, right? I don't really want to because like I'd rather just get a few more NUCs and call it a day. Because managing the heat and noise is really, really difficult. Yeah, basically. Yeah, if the desktop, which still works has a soundtrack, it will probably be manyao because of all the neon lights, you know. It's really got a lot of neon lights, and I really, really, really can't stand it. Yeah, okay, so anyway, if I were to start all over again, this is the TLDR to myself, like many years ago. Start small, but don't be too cheap lah. Because reliability can come at a cost, okay? Make sure the hardware doesn't drive you and your parents and your neighbors crazy. Singapore already very hot. House really very small, unless you got East Wing and West Wing, like somebody who's not here. I hope you're listening. You can separate compute and storage as well because they're very different hardware requirements. Like compute nodes need high CPU and RAM, but not so much storage. Especially if you have a media server, and I have two. And I'm also planning to run more media, like high CPU and RAM things. Yeah, well, storage nodes also need RAM depending on how you run them. Like I'm using ZFS, so you actually do need the RAM. Yeah, but you also need to whack these drives, which is actually, it should be what you're spending on because it means that your life will be a lot easier after that, which I will talk about. If you separate the two, you can upgrade them separately depending on what you really need as you observe yourself using it. So you need to keep looking at how you use it and decide how to spend your money. Unless you got a lot of money that I got nothing to say. No notes, okay? You can even run something like Ceph or CNPG for distributed storage workloads, which is on my upgrade path, but I've set up monitoring, which shows that I actually don't really need it. So this is all theoretical for now, or maybe ever. Also note that hardware reliability can come at a cost. NUCs, what I'm using is an Intel NUC. It costs a lot more than like say some other brands, but they just work for years. So I'm pretty satisfied with mine. Just make sure that you do a bit more work before buying to see what horror stories. Like there was this NAS I was interested in lately, buy another one, and extend it. And it was so cheap. But it turned out to be a disaster because the PSU is underpowered for the SSD slots. Yeah. Okay, so skip. Okay, so just make sure that like you don't buy it immediately when it comes out. You wait for people to like surface problems, because I realized that managing the hardware problems is a big part of it. Like when I was installing my NAS, the little coin that controls like the startup, the coin battery was dead. Yes, correct. So I had to replace it. And then it was the first time I was debugging it, so I was like a bit lost. Yeah. So yeah, because like previously when I built stuff, I didn't have to do it, you see. Yeah, correct. So then Yeah, okay, so basically, monitoring is very important. I mean, I've shown you that I like it and that you can easily kill yourself if you run sustained workloads. So what I did was I just switched the server off, like remotely, kicked out all the users when they do that. Then I had to turn off transcoding. Yeah, but anyway, because some workloads can cause them to have real problems if sustained, or if you're close to running out of storage, things can also fall over. Or if something is straight up dead, like if the cat chewed on it. And this is one of many reasons to love Kubernetes, I think. Basically, the Prom graph stack is very nice. It's a very simple help chat away. I've seen someone brand new to Kubernetes spin them up and customize them, which is kind of amazing, actually. You'd have to do a lot more manual glue work to get the same monitoring with Docker containers. Yeah. Okay, so I sound like a Kubernetes shill, so I'll just go like, don't over-engineer for a load that doesn't exist lah. Like I'm, sadly, despite the fact that I set this up with my husband and child and like my in-laws, like I'm the only user 99.999% of the time. Don't know how many nines lah, okay, a lot of nines lah. Yeah, even though the reliability is better than AWS, you know. Really? Okay. Even with the cat chewing on the wires. Yeah, most of the steady state load is currently from Immich, with spikes when I can find the time to watch shows. Yeah, so cleaning my cat's poop doesn't even cause the server to break a sweat lah. Yeah, so TLDR, good enough is fine, but good enough means reliable for the price, not just cheap. Sometimes you gotta buy once and cry once. Okay, so why Kubernetes and not Docker? I'm 18 minutes into this talk at this point, so I think I will speed run through it, okay? This part is very boring. It's basically just like Docker, you do this, it looks simple. But container crashes, it stays dead, you need 3 instances, you run it 3 times. Good luck if your PCs are in different rooms. You update, you stop the old one, you build the new one, you run the new one, and you gotta do it like 3 times, your 3 PCs are in different rooms. Good job. You are the orchestrator. Kubernetes, sorry, very small, hard to see, never mind, forget it. Just take it from me, this works. Be curious, you can load it on your phone. I'm not kidding, like just hit the URL. Okay, yeah, so I was going to describe like what this does, but no one, you can probably like GPT it faster than me, so I'll skip to the next thing. Yeah, so Docker versus Kubernetes, like Kubernetes does shit for you lah. That's basically what it says lah. It's self-healing until crash loop back off, then you cry lah. Yeah, okay. So GitOps, that's another nice thing that you can do, which is basically you commit the change to the server, and basically the system applies it. Flux applies it for you. So I'm using Flux right now. Yeah, I haven't used it to implement everything. It's only watching the manifest for now, not like the Helm charts, which are a bit more complicated. I'm using Helm to manage Immich, which changes a lot, and the Helm charts keep breaking, so I really don't want to. Yeah, so this is more for self-learning and also because it's cool. But if you're not familiar with Kubernetes, don't do this first, because trying to get this to work as well as Kubernetes itself is like not so great lah. Start with like one thing first. Don't try to do everything. Yeah. So I mean, I do this now, but like I don't even do it for everything because I'm not confident that I won't like accidentally break something and then start crying. But it's okay. I've got backups. I will show that later. Okay. Anyway, so this is the networking part. My entire setup is very reliant on what somebody has called very newbie. I hope you're listening. It's newbie. Yes, it is. It's a mesh VPN. It's not your dad's VPN. It's Tailscale. Unlike traditional VPNs that tunnel all traffic through a central gateway, Tailscale basically just lets you peer-to-peer your connections. Okay, it's like the good old days of like Kazaa, but you know, your own stuff. And you're not Kazaaing, you're just like reading Linux ISOs or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's the connections are encrypted with the open source WireGuard protocol. So everything, there's supposed to be like a network diagram here lah, but basically everything is like not on the internet, it's like technically on intranet. Nothing is exposed to the internet. The control plane is hub and spoke with tiny encryption keys, but the data plane is mesh. So it can scale with nodes instead of bottlenecking. I am not confident enough to tell you that I know 100% about it. Like it's very close to zero config. It feels very magic to me. And I don't know how it handles NAT, but it mostly works. Anyway, this works very well for HOMELAB and client devices, which are all in one like country lah. Like if you've got multiple countries, I don't know, good luck to you. Like, this one's beyond my $0 pay scale. Yeah, but anyway, this is my use case. Like basically I just need my devices to talk to each other and like be able to consume stuff from each other. Like if I want to show my boss like my cat photos. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so then the DNS part I explained previously. Remember what I said I would talk about ad blocking at Tailscale earlier. Basically go to Tailscale, set the IP of your self-hosted DNS service on the tailnet, and that's it. This is the manifest for the Tailscale service, but it's a bit small. Anyway, it's just a Kubernetes manifest exposing some ports, not very interesting. And the main thing I wanted to say was that basically that the Tailscale operator makes it very easy to extend an existing thing, which you've already put on Kubernetes to essentially your own intranet. It's very, very easy to use. Yeah, so that was the point of the slide, but you know, yeah, okay, I don't think I have time already, so I'm just gonna really, really speed run, okay? So like, virtualization versus bare metal, that's another thing that you gotta ask yourself. Remember, in my first few generations, it's all like not virtualized. Okay, then after that, I decided to go to virtualization. Why? Initially, I bought a giant mini PC, if that makes sense. Because it's flexible. You can run as many nodes as you want. With Proxmox, you can up and downsize nodes as needed. And for recovery, you can just snapshot the thing. Other people also use this thing called Proxmox, which is like, you know, I think it's what, a hypervisor? Yeah, anyway, like basically you can use it to spin up different types of either VMs or LXCs, and you can deploy your services in the LXCs. Basically, somebody really wrote the scripts for you. You just have to hit apply, something like that. Yeah. I think the guy is called T-Tech. He recently passed on, but someone else is maintaining it for him. Yeah, okay. So that is like why virtualize. There's a lot of like flexibility. I think this is primarily the way things operate like enterprise. Yeah, because it kind of abstracts away like the hardware away from like the computers lah, in a way. Okay, so why not virtualize? If you've ever had to manage GPU pass through, you know lah. Okay, and storage also shouldn't virtualize because of integrity requirements. Yeah, so because I use the virtualized setup, it's actually very easy for me. There's no single point of failure in my system, even though I only use like it should be like 3 or 4 computers. But anyway, the backups just go to my NAS. My NAS is running a RAID 5 equivalent on ZFS. I think RAID Z, I can't remember RAID Z what. Yeah, and like I back up regularly. I can make it more regular. And it's really just set on Proxmox. You can script it as well if you want, change it. Then if you want to downsize the node, you just go to the Proxmox GUI and do it, or you can use the API. It's up to you. Yeah, but basically, if my cluster box dies, I buy a new one, I throw the backup at it, I'm back in business. If the hard drive dies, I buy a new one, I'm back in business. If 2 hard drives die, then maybe I have a problem. But then I have a bigger problem than that, maybe like got roof leaking. Yeah, okay, so 25 minutes. I'll try to leave the last 5 minutes for questions. Yeah, maintenance. This is very important because things are not guaranteed to work forever. Like I found out with Immich, because they were upgrading the apps. They were upgrading the server very fast, and the mobile apps required a specific server version. You couldn't really pin it. Yeah, anyway, this is just some very general like stuff. Talk to your users. Make sure you schedule time to manage the server because it doesn't come for free. And then you need to monitor like hardware temperatures and utilization so you know what are the gaps lah. And if you know like you've got a problem somewhere. Yeah, okay. Questions? Sorry, that was a bit unhinged, yes.
So why instead of using the cloud, you choose to do
free? As in like it's a lot cheaper than using the cloud for a given amount of storage. Like I have quite a bit of storage lah. Like the equivalent app, just the Apple storage is like $15 a month. Just Apple and like I have multi-cloud because I have like Google Cloud, Apple Cloud, God knows what cloud, like maybe AWS Cloud that my kids' home thing is using. Yeah, like it's easier to manage as well. Like you don't have to deal with all the abstractions. You basically can just, you know, like use standard Kubernetes APIs, well, commands lah, not necessarily the APIs, but yeah, like yeah. Yeah. If you're familiar with like some of this stuff, like yeah, like I don't really see why you need like a cloud service for this as well if your use case is really just to serve yourself. Like having your own computer is much easier to control and monitor and set up all this stuff. I don't need the You don't need the conveniences that the cloud provides, basically. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you can. No. Like, okay. So you see, this one. Wait, sorry. Go back to Home Assistant. I never tracked the previous generations lah. Yeah, but this one I can estimate it's not much lah. Like the first generation was very tall. Okay. Yeah, like it was literally like freaking Bitcoin mining. No, like yeah. So no. But you can. This allows you to buy like essentially something you can plug into your socket, and then you plug your thing, then you measure it, and it's recorded on your server. I haven't set it up yet because it would need a lot of downtime. But I can, like, when you buy the hardware, you can know how much is the idle draw and the max draw, and then you could just calculate based on that. Now you have smart meters on. So you just calculate. The rate is just estimated consumption times rate. That's all. Yeah. So actually, you don't really need monitoring. Yes, sorry, the dude in the red shirt was first.
Have you considered using Docker Swarm?
No. No. Docker Swarm, nobody uses it. It's very hard to troubleshoot. Yes. It's a lot harder to find troubleshooting tips than Kubernetes. Okay. I see. I mean, I don't know if you'll believe me, but I basically went straight from nothing to Kubernetes. So, like, I mean, no, it wasn't that hard. It really isn't that hard. Like, you kind of just, you start small, you like deploy, like, say, Jellyfin, right? Jellyfin is like one container. It's as easy as it gets, you know? You deploy with Jellyfin first. Literally, that's how I started. AdGuard Home and Jellyfin. Then, like, AdGuard Home requires you to open all the stupid ports, right? Then you can test it and whatever. So deploy something lightweight first. Do AdGuard Home first. You can put it on a pipe. Yeah.
And do you use like any like setup?
It is built into Kubernetes. So okay, so my setup is really very newbie. Like I'm not even using much of Kubernetes. Like I use the distribution called K3s. I'm not even using Traffic very much. I'm using Tailscale's load balancer. Yeah, but Kubernetes does its own load balancing. Let's say like you have, like 3 replicas. It does its own replicate. You don't have to like really consider anything too fancy to do it. Yeah. No problem. Yes, sorry. Yes. What? I can do it, lor. I want to watch movies, lor. Like I don't know how to tell you, man. Like literally, that's what I wanted. It's not. It's not.
You say it's not complex, but it's in a HOMELAB is very simple because you didn't you didn't let the pod identify itself because you never do scaling. So that's why it's easy.
Yes, correct.
In a Kubernetes world, in a modern organization like MNC or big company,
yeah,
do scaling very hard.
Yeah, correct.
So that's why I'm asking you what's your
Okay, so Kubernetes for a simple use case like this is considered overkill because people typically find it hard, but I actually find it easier than manually managing Docker. Yes, correct, but then you have to manually manage Docker Compose. Kubernetes, you don't have to do that. That's what the Kubernetes manifest do for you.
That's what the Kubernetes is doing. It's helping you straight restart and
yeah, you don't have to run an additional script. You just plug it in and get it done. Yeah.
I learned currently from my Docker Compose setup, right? So I just put the image directly to the container registry and manually restart the container using. That's a keyword manual.
Yeah, you don't have to do it manually if you don't want to with this setup, which is what I like about it. Of course.
You don't need to actually use K8, they just use K3.
I mean, I'm using K3, so it's the lightweight version. Chick-fil-A runs it in their restaurants, man. I'm not kidding, like yeah, correct. It's the Immich compatible version. Sorry, yes.
We're using the
Like if the pod breaks, so like if you got problem, like your container runs out of memory, like you put in. Oh. Okay, so I actually did it just now remotely to fix a typo. Like you can do it a couple of ways. There are a few ways to do it, but yes. Yes. Mm. Yep. No. No. You don't have to do that. So like this whole presentation, again, like, oh, actually I should go to the presentation. This whole presentation is just a HTML page. It's a Docker image. I've put it on my own private registry, but you can't see it lah. Can you see it? Can you see it? No, well, you could check Docker Hub or some others, yes. You have to trigger it. Yeah, you can basically set it up such that how to explain, like no, like as in like there are a lot of like batteries included things that can let you automate the updating of the image, for example. So like you could do what I did, which is extremely lazy. I basically just used the latest text on my Docker image and I pushed it onto the, I don't even have a runner set up yet. So I push it onto my registry, then I have to restart the pod, and that's it. Like that's my deploy right there, because like my manifest basically already tells it to always pull the image, so I can just one command after I finish updating it, I can redeploy. The better way to do it is to use Flux. So after you push the thing, you change the tag. Then after that, you update your manifest, you commit it and it deploys for you. Yeah, but I haven't fully set it up yet because the runner takes time to deploy. I don't have that much time. Yeah, but you can do a lot of stuff with it. It's pretty fun actually. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, but you paid more. Yeah, correct. Sure. Yes, no, but I'm interested in it. So thank you for sharing. But like, I'm personally interested in it. If that's not very obvious, no. Yeah, like I wouldn't abstract it away to Synology, especially not when they lock your hard drive upgrade path. Yeah, so no. I did a crazy amount of work into like choosing what hardware I wanted to buy with a limited budget. So like, no, like Synology is very expensive for what it is. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, correct. I don't have replication for the NAS right now. So like it's all manual. I have a hard drive. I plug it in. Yeah. Mm. Yes. I'm sorry, you probably have a problem. I see. Yes, no, so like the typical way of doing this would be to pay Backblaze or S3, but I would have to pay quite a bit to S3 for the volume I'm storing. Yes. Yes, sorry. Yes.
using ZFS.
Yeah, correct.
They also can do
Yes, so correct. That's what I'm using.
the-
RAID Z1, I think. It's the RAID 5 equivalent. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm using that right now, and I spend quite a bit of money. I spend much more money on the storage solution because I wanted it to be rock solid and reliable. So the thing about SSDs is that they hardly, if they fail to, right, you can still read them. Yeah, so because of that, then you have a bit more leeway lah. Don't take so many cat pictures for a while, right? Because you know you can still read, you just can't write. Yeah. But I live close to the Samsung hard disk distributor in Singapore, so I just walk over and go, please give me hard disks, something like that. Yeah, so I mean, yeah lah, but like how to say, yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that was useful.
Last question?
Yes, sorry. I think you got more experience than me lah. Why you ask me?
No,
Sorry, joking.
I want to know how
Oh, go Shopee and buy. It's really go Shopee and buy. You have to, okay, so like I'm in a few Discord servers where people share their setups and then they go, oh, I have this setup. So that you can know like what integrations are supported on which version of Home Assistant. Because Home Assistant got two, the ZHA, and I'm using Zigbee to MQTT lah. That one more complicated. But if you're using Kubernetes, you're not scared, what? So yeah, so then you you just like pick something that it works well for the software solution that you've chosen to deploy. So you have to decide like on the hardware and software kind of together lah. So like what I did was I knew roughly what I planned to do already. So planning is very important lah. Yeah. No, I didn't buy a set. Like I had to individually buy from Shopee Taobao, but Shopee actually is cheaper because got the coins and the vouchers. Huh? User guide? No lah. The best way is to go Discord and hang out with people and ask them like what they found that's useful. Some people are very, very like advanced. Like my setup is extremely basic. Like, I think some of my friends have like a super advanced setup. Like they automated like virtually everything. So I don't know why I'm sharing this. It's really very basic. Yeah, but you can do it easily lah.
It's good enough lah. I'm just familiar with the software side. When you talk about the cloud side, I also like big question marks.
Oh.
So for me, I will more curious on I will design and hardware part.
Right. Yeah, the one is a lot harder, I think, because it's very dependent on like now a lot of people don't use Zigbee anymore. They're moving to Matter. Yeah, we can talk more about this lah. No, Matter.
Last question.
Yes, sorry.
You said you set up.
Huh? No. I haven't needed to. Like the cat hasn't been able to reach it. The cat hasn't been able to reach it lah. I put it in a shelf and I forget about it, which is the point.
You have chaos monkeys, she has a chaos cat.
Yeah. Like I don't need to do DR. I guess I could try to simulate it, but I mean I rather use the time to do something else lah. How do I ensure that my infra is resilient? Prayers.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, like at this point, I have quite a few backups of it, so I'm not 100% worried. It's basically it's basically very reliant on the backup of my Kubernetes cluster, and I'm actually not just running one; I'm running a few.
Nice.
So I will clone it to an older setup if I have to. Yeah. I mean, if the hardware fails, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, I wanted to run HA. I thought it was cool and stuff, but I found that I really didn't need it, and it was a lot of extra power and heat. So like for HOMELAB usage, right? Like it just doesn't make sense for me to like buy 3 NUCs, spend $3,000. I can use the extra money to go on a vacation. I mean, I have a hard drive. Yeah. But why? But why spend money if you don't need to? You can, sorry? Yes, you could. You could. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like, some people would rather throw money at the problem and, like, you know, not have to deal with this. Like, this works for me lah. Like, so I found that I don't really need disaster recovery. I don't know if, like, that would be your choice, but, like, this is my choice. Yeah, I hope that helps you. Yeah.
All right. That's all. Thank you.